VIPER278 entered channel.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, let's see what we could do. Take away the Be Right Back screen as I synchronize. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the recap show of Pleasant Valley Rivers. We got KW, Chetty, Scurvy Bula.
Jeff entered channel.
Just a ton of names. I can't possibly read them all. Pukes is in the house. Bad Touch is in the house. Andy GT Extreme is in the house. Big Daddy's in the house.
I am here, man.
See, you came in, well, you're so far in fourth place in the fishing. I was hosting you just to get you some love out there.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for the host. I didn't wish would have said something. I wish my thing would have popped up.
No problem. I figured give them something to watch and let them come in.
Yeah, I saw the time of the tournament, and it said 8 o'clock, and I said, man, I could probably knock it out. It's 45 minutes, and it's just in time for you to start your show. So I went a little later, but it's all good.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to synchronize with other players. I don't know why it's taken so long. But once we're synchronized, we'll have a show. Running a little behind. I was watching you fish.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all good. All right.
Yeah.
Can everybody hear me out there okay? Get a confirmation that I can be heard, and then we'll get going. If I can't be heard, then I can't go anywhere.
So yours is doing the same thing I did the other night. It took a little long time to log in there.
Yeah, I made it though. Just waiting to see, make sure those guys, everybody can hear me okay before we get going. Got a good crowd out there already. Farmer Rick, welcome to the stream. Thanks for the follow. Loud and clear, we can hear you, bro. Awesome. All right, so it's going to be kind of different shows from this point out because we're doing a lot of tweaking behind the scenes and not a lot of adding stuff. Let me reset my steering wheel here. It's a little messy. All right, now that the steering wheel. So we're going to start off in the museum like usual and thank everybody that's donated so far to the stream. We added a couple new people in this week, so we got to give them some love. And we updated Puke's sign there, 1025. Awesome. So as most of you know, everybody that's donated to me in the past and in the future and from this point forward will always have a spot in the Pleasant Valley Museum based on how much they have donated. Depends what floor they end up on. We're going right to the top floor and thank our bronze sponsors first. And we're just going to scroll through here and give it a pretty quick look. Maybe I get a little closer so you can read them. And thank everybody. I'm not going to read off the names. We're going to go through. Most of this week has been optimizing the map. And to give you some kind of idea, when I started last week, we ended the show. Last week's map file was 850 megabytes on the server. I still have quite a bit of optimization to do with duplicate pictures being removed from the file and everything, but today it currently stands at 722 megabytes. So we've already cut off 128 megs of file size, which is huge.
Sweet. Now we can put it on the server.
Now you can put it on your servers. I'm guessing we'll get under 700. I don't think we'll get much further. I mean,
that's not bad.
But I've still got quite a bit of work to do with the duplicate pictures being removed. So, yeah, it'll get down there, and there's a couple sound files that need to be trimmed. So it'll all be good. We'll get down there below 700 for sure. And it's running good too. It's running really well. Actually, oddly enough, we've had very few server issues through this whole process. I think a lot cleaner running. I think it's because Giants finally fixed the trees. So here's our silver room. So what you're going to see today isn't a ton of new stuff, but there's a lot of little fixes going on as well. If you've been following the Trello board, it's mostly put this in place, move that, you know, little stuff. But actually, I think a couple people are on 2 floors. And Fred made the silver floor this week. That's awesome. Fred Fruchtig. As well as WRT 2547. New one for the silver floor. And we're just going to scroll through here, and I'm going to take you around, and we'll show you a few of the little fixes. My show's going to probably be a little shorter tonight because I have not been feeling well at all today. If I do have to get up for a couple minutes in the middle of the show, it's because nature calls. Antibiotics do a funny thing to you, let's just put it that way, when you're finally off of them. So... but Big Daddy's going to be following me up with some new mods for the map that will be coming in, and you guys can check that out, and I'll be watching that as well. And our gold sponsors are those that have donated $100 or more, and we added in Andy GT Extreme moves up to gold, along with Master Chef Farmer. Both last week moved into the gold room. Enjoying the gold crew, which is amazing. You guys have been amazing. I thank you all. And especially everybody that comes out and watches the show. It's great. I know if you're like me, you can't afford to donate, but just your presence here is awesome. And those of you who have donated, it's quite incredible. And Pukes with his $1,025 is just amazing. And down here we have the Bad Touch with his $600 donation is amazing. We will get some more stuff in the what KW, you said yours is in the wrong room. Where is yours supposed to be? Now, if you had more donations and it's not on my list down below, let me know, because some people donated before I switched over to the Twitch alerts, which is where I've been getting the data, and if that's the case, it needs to be added on. Also, Viper's donations and Big Daddy's donations have not been added in yet as well. So, they will be. Alright, first thing, the menu system. As you know, hit the / key, we have the menu system. In the settings, let me see if I can put this over the sky so you guys can see it. These are tiny little tweaks, but they're going to make a big difference in your gameplay. And this will make a difference in the nice PDF file S7 Davis has been working on too, because now I'll have to change some things. Look at that. Now they just tell if they're on or off. I removed the word turn in front of all the different things. So if it says it's off, it's off. If it says it's on, it's on. It's no confusing anymore. No more confusion. Very simple in the menu. Big little change. You were gold on PVV2. Yeah, right. Then you should probably... I'll have to check it out there, KW. See where you are. We could definitely... Now, to be gold on PV version 2, it was $50. And the museum has moved it to $100 because there was just too many donations to make gold such a small level, and I needed to add another level. So you might be silver now. You probably are. Another change behind the scenes as we're over here at the warehouse. There's a couple changes on the warehouse. Because as we're testing, and I'm playing more and testing more, I realize that these doors are great for backing up one box truck or maybe even two, but to get a few of them filled with the trigger in front of the door, and I'll bring up the triggers to show you, which will lag out the system. You can see the triggers right in front of the door. It's kind of hard to hit it with multiple box trucks, so there are 2 triggers now for each, and there's one way back right at the beginning end. You can see the little square box, orange boxes. Make it much easier for you guys to load up. You can pull across the front with of any column just like this, and you'll be able to load the box trucks. Around the back side, and I'm going to need to get a tipper for this. I hope there's still one back there. Not a tipper, but we will go get one. If I can find one. I don't know where Viper leaves all this equipment, but man, it's like a wild goose chase. Also, this week...
Just hit number 1. You get to them.
I did number 1. Danny might be using those tippers, so I'll have to find one. I see a couple Volvos, well, a Volvo that has something on it, so we'll find a tip. I just need one to show you the new triggers down there. And just barely started adding some of the extra notifications around on the map. I did the main farms, and we'll show you that while we're up here. But it is tons of little things that are going to make a big difference. Now, have you played yet since I updated the map yesterday, or today? I think it was today. You have not.
No.
We enlarged the openings to the main farm, so you can now get your big combines through much easier. So that's one major change that will help you get through the fences. Took out a few sections of fence to make it easier to get your combines in. It's all the little things that we have discussed over time and I forgot about, so I started playing and I was like, oh crap, I can't get this combine through that fence. And now I'm starting to take care of the little annoyances that you guys will run, so you don't run into them like I am right now. Let's see. I'm gonna dump off my tipper. I don't want I'm disassembling your big lines of tippers here. Hope you all don't mind the mess I make. You'll clean it up.
Yeah.
I need a tipper.
You can do 8. 8's got a set, just the 2 man things.
Too late. I've got it going.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I've destroyed your line of 3 tippers and a half.
Dan cuts it in half. You don't like driving 6.
Neither do I. It's a little tough. Let's see. Lots and lots of stuff going on. We got the release date. That should be scrolling. I think I put it in a scrolling message every 10 minutes. So the release date, June 18th. I did have on the schedule, and I apologize. I had a show scheduled for a recap show this week. I was going to do it on Saturday at 2 o'clock, but I was informed by my sister, who's driving us out to see my kids and the family for the holiday, that we're going to be leaving before then. So I had to cancel my recap show, but we will do those again as well once we get past the holiday weekend. I hope you guys all have a great holiday if you are in the U.S. Last week, if you were in Canada, I hope you had a great holiday. And if you're somewhere else, I hope you have a great summer when it gets to you. All right, so here you go, Viper. This one's for you. Much smaller list of products in the main silo because some people were having it run off the screen, such as Viper. If you were watching him stream, he was missing one item. So I took out all the fruit and the vegetables, the tomatoes, mushrooms, and all the trees, and they are now over on the refrigerated section. So JPuppy0909, thank you for the follow. So here you will have to dump the fruit and fruit trees into this box here now instead of the other one, and you will have to pick them up at the door on the side that's labeled refrigerated. So we keep them fresh in the refrigerated room now, just to make that last trigger, which is right over here,
You still use a tipper to them?
Yeah, you can load a tipper with the fruits. You can't load them with so they're all right here. Another little tweaks. They will require a tipper to load, and there are none in there, but the sour cream is in there, and the pizzas. Just a little thing that we needed to take care of. I'm going up top. Let's go back up top and drive around. Can your flatbed trailer mod auto-load new egg pallets, Big Daddy? I mentioned that to him. I think we got to look into that. I don't know if he's tweaked it yet, but one way or another it will.
Yeah, I have not as of yet. I've been working on all this other stuff, but they will. I'll make it one way or another. Whether it's we have to change the name, which I don't want to do, like we discussed, we don't want to do. But I will, if anything, add them as a separate item, similar to what I did with the Pepsi machine. So we should be good. But I have to look at them, to be honest with you.
Yep. So yeah, that's a minor issue. We'll make sure it's working. All right. So I basically am going to be putting these arrows around the map for everybody, and it says tip fertilizer and seed here to fill reserves. Everywhere on the map, as much as necessary, you're going to find the little notifications all over. There'll be more and more appearing. You'll see more of those next week. Another change behind the scenes is all the pallets on the map used to be 2,000 last week per pallet, and they are now all 5,000. So they're 5,000 capacity per pallet. So with Big Daddy's trailer holding 14 pallets, it's a little bit more than 2 box trucks full for one flatbed of pallets, which is pretty awesome. So it makes it viable to use that a little bit more. I'm trying to think. I got a list. What else do we do here? I optimized the clip distances on the map. You guys can't tell. Oh yeah, we got to go over to Fairgrounds Farmers Market. There's a little bit of changes. They're mostly like they were, but obviously with the new system. So we'll head over that way. And on our way over, I'm going to go over to a new place. I'll run over all the crops. Kill them.
I just asked S7 Davis. I said, hey, is the PDF file going to be in all languages that PV Rivers is going to be in? And he laughed at me.
I'm going to hopefully have the French. That's another one of the things on the coming weeks as we're tidying up. And it's not something that you people see and doesn't make for much of an interesting broadcast. But it will be in French. And what do we have it in before? French and German. And maybe in the future we'll add a couple of new languages. And I always wanted to get Italian and Spanish because I know we have some followers that are Italian and Spanish out there as well, because I've seen them stream my map. Let me see. I'm going to do what I did the other day. And I don't know if you saw the placeable, Big Daddy, the no grass mod.
I did. I gave you the link, and I'm glad to see it in. I don't know how it works, though, if it works any good or not.
I did test it last week, and I got to actually log in to get money.
Oh, gotcha.
But I'm going to use it because I made some changes in the terrain, and rather than fixing it, you basically just buy it. You get a little platform, and you can click there. You just buy it and then you resell it.
You just put your thing on there.
What's that?
You just showed your password to everybody.
But they can't get in here, so I'm not worried about it.
Oh, that's true too.
I've showed it probably 100 times in the past, and everybody that's with us knows it because we're all my admins. It just ended up being necessary that way, so it's good.
Chill will, to answer your question, we will. It is this map is damage mod compatible. You can throw it in if you like. We just found it that it is very costly to us, and it needed some sensitivity tweaking, is how I like to deem it. And we just did feel as though a lot of people wouldn't utilize it, so we're leaving it out. But feel free. You'll be able to add it in the one from Marhu's site and be good to go.
Yeah, you can use it. We're not gonna use it, and there's so many ways to lose money on this map already, as you will find out.
None of us can drive.
Anyhow, I parked over here and I just cleaned up you guys won't have that grass on the version that's released because I made the changes, but not on our server. But I did move this trigger up here for dumping to fill the dam, so it's much better marked and you won't get stuck down in the water. And that will, dumping gravel in here will drain the field down below, and S7 will probably have to take a new screenshot for the PDF file now. I did that just so he has to take more screenshots. Because I'm nice that way.
I can hear him now.
There's a few things that are in there that, yeah, you might have to go back and redo. Findable objects, another thing that's on the map. And I'm going to give you a sneak preview so you'll be able to find one. I added several in as well. Not several, but there's another 6 to 8, I think, in the map. And the difference is that these findable objects are better than the starting equipment that's on the farm. So if you find them, you will get a little bit of a bonus. There's approximately 10 in all findable objects on the map. You might be able to sell them, but I did include a couple tractors that are not the lowest ones. They're a little bit up. The Ursus and the Lindner are findable, and a front loader. And I'm going to show you what I mean because I'll find the front loader and then I'll move it for next week so you guys still have to find it. Because that's the way I am. No fun finding objects if I tell you where they all are. We're heading over to the fairgrounds. So it will pay, and let me get rid of this for now and get rid of that. It will pay to look for those objects because you can get a front loader, you can get a forage wagon to start off the map with, you can get a couple extra tractors, a couple of trailers that are bigger than the Brantners, just another size up. So you'll want to do your looking around. Over at the farmer's market, the sell over time facility, we have, and it's not 100% complete, I have some signage to add. It works pretty much the same way as on Pleasant Valley version 2 with an exception of this section over here has been added. And we have a new, well, we got the fruit stand that sells the, here I'm going to need the menu, that sells the plums and pears over here at the big little fruit stand. But we also have, if you want to make some extra money on meat, you can buy steak, sausage, and pork chops and chicken fillets from the good old grill master dude here. Fill him up, and anything sold in the farmer's market, just as before, will make a lot more money than if you sold it anywhere else. So it would actually pay, if you don't own the meat market yet, to go down and pick those items up and pay for them and bring them up here and load them into the sell over time thing and get your money back. So that has been added in. And over here on this side, there's a couple little things that are not marked. I'm going to have signs for them hopefully next week, signage week. But a place to sell steamed potatoes and a place to sell excess beet pulp. Now what I did was I set this up so if you want to, you can buy the placeable mods like the Beatmaster, and here, let me straighten this out. I love that mod. There we go. There's a little section over here you can actually put a couple of these to make it convenient right close by to the factory or the place where you're selling. So you can put the Beatmaster and the potato steamer right next to it. And then you can work on the stuff and then just bring it around the corner and dump it right in. So there's a little bit of room over there for that. I left that empty for now. And other than that, the farmer's market has not too much added in. We did make some changes on the way the bales are done, just the two drop points for bales, all square go in one, all round go in the other. On the other side of the road, the farmer, the what do you call this place? Yeah, the big place, the fairgrounds. The fairgrounds has two major changes. Now, they are, and S7's going to have to do a little editing of the PDF file for this too, as well. It pays out twice as much. Actually, I don't know if that's even listed. Last time it runs the same amount of time, but you'll be making twice the money because all the extra products for each of the booths that were currently in here are added in. So, for instance, before we just had one chip type and one beer type. Well, you can see right up here, I already stocked Sam Adams. You have all those products right here. Boston Lager, Revolutionary Ale, the Cranberry Lambert, all the potatoes, chips, all the pizzas. All that fun stuff has to be brought in to start the fair. So there's quite a few more products. And they're all on display as you're loading up the fairgrounds. Is this a jump button? Can I get it? Lars02, thanks for the follow. So we got the beers already stocked up for Sam Adams over here in their booth, and then when the fair runs, it will run as before, but pay you twice the amount of money. And it will probably be the last map that the fairgrounds is in because we got to come up with a new idea. But we've got Frosted Mini Wheats, Frosted Flakes, Rice Krispies. All the vodkas have been added in. So you'll have fun. Fun stuff in the fairgrounds. And I'm not going to build the fair. You get to do it again. Let's see if there's anything else on my list I got to cover. I do have a surprise for you guys tonight. And I only think a couple people know about it. Let's see. A couple of menu cleanups. I'll go down there and show you those. And then we are going to show you my surprise I have for you. I have an update to the Mod Folder Switcher program for those of you who like to use it with some new features. Because I knew the map content would be lacking tonight, I decided to do a little bit of updating of the Mod Folder Switcher program that will help you guys when you're running the map, or any map for that matter. And we're going to go through, now that we have a animal barn full of animals. Actually, I'll head over that way first. Now we'll go down here. Because most of the stuff's behind the scenes. There's not a ton to show, but we didn't get to see a lot of cows and pigs hunting for truffles or being milked last week, so we'll run that through. Although you might have done some during the week, Viper. Did you do cows and pigs?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Somebody left a bunch of cows in the milking machine. I emptied it. Took them out today.
Yeah, I've been concentrating on getting the factories built.
Cool. Yes, there's only one left on the map to build, I believe, right?
Yep, Kellogg's. Need a lot more drywall.
Yeah, well, if we don't get there by the end, we'll be rushing testing just so I can test all the triggers and everything, make sure it all works. I'll be giving you an influx of drywall.
Yeah, Dan said he's been getting some resin to the factory there.
It's hard to think about all the tiny little things I did, and they are little, but it's all to make things go smoother. Like, and as I'm driving around here, I keep remembering, oh yeah, I did that this week too. Most of it's been optimization work, but all the docks are now labeled at the port, so you know which dock is which if you're going to sell stuff at the port. you will notice that each of the cell points has a label, and this would be, you can see it right there, Dock 2. It's pretty simple. You'll get used to it, but it can be confusing when you first start out. Dock 1 is right there. So all the port docks have been labeled, which was definitely a necessity.
Someone on my stream asked me if the wooden bridge was buildable or if that's already pre-built.
Currently, it's not buildable. What we're going to do, it's one of the things I want. It's pre-built, the wooden bridges. Here's Dock 3. I did want to make them buildable, but I also have 1,000 things that I wanted to do, and like I said, we cut back on some just to, so I don't think they're going to be buildable. And another reason why is there's so much to do on the map as it is. There's way, as you know, as you well know, this should take people quite a long time. Good evening, Lamillo. Which reminds me, I have a poll I want to start here for you guys, because Big Daddy suggested it. I want to get some user feedback. If I were to start another map after this one, the question is, would you like to see a single size or a 16x? I know they're vastly different. And let me tell you what the difference between the two would be if they were created. A single size map with the features of Pleasant Valley or the Rivers map, some of them will have some new content, but would be able to be much more visual, much more detail put into the map. So it'd be kind of fun to do a single size, and it'd also probably be a little bit quicker. And if we went with a 16x map, we are looking at one that probably might not be done till the release of FS17 #1, but it would be a different concept altogether, and it wouldn't be as visual because, you know, with those size maps, it's going to have to be a lot of flat land and a lot of big fields just so the thing runs. It probably would have bigger fields but fewer things to do, whereas if we did a single size, we would be able to add in some really cool features that we've had, like the stones. We might be able to make a whole quarry out of just stone rocks to dig and grind up and stuff like that. But right now, I am going to open up. I see all the people scrolling. 16x, 1x, 2. There is no 2x. Your choices are 1x and 16x. And let me go to, if I can figure this out. Your choices are, and this is how you're going to vote as I start the poll right now. Everybody can vote once. It is for a 1x, you just type !vote and then a space and then the number 0. And for a 16x, !vote, a space and the number 1. So we'll let you guys throw your votes in there, and we'll see what it comes out to a little later in the broadcast. And we'll see just what people want. We give the people what they want.
Just an option. I know
don't put
it was
the X. It's vote !vote 0 or !vote 1. 1 is for 16x, 0 is for the 1x. Remember that. You can only vote once. Oh, the 2x sample map. I don't see how that's possible, but I haven't even looked at it, Koboomba, because the map is done in a... I'll have to look at that. If it is a 2x, that might be the way to go, but they've only ever had 1, 4, 16, and then 6. You could do a 64. It always had to be in the multiples of 4, so I haven't even got a chance to look at that with all the stuff, but if there indeed is a 2x, that might be possible. A lot of times people say they're 2x, and it's a 1x map with 2x center. I mean a 4x, and they're just designing the 2x center. So
Yeah, correct.
And that's probably what it is, and I don't want to go that route. All right, so where was I heading before I hit the... Oh yeah, I'm going down to the village. The village.
Big Daddy had something to say.
Go, Big Daddy, go.
Oh no, I was just saying before Rivers, we were talking about doing a single size map. and how rivers blossom into a 4x map. To keep all the items we had in some of the items we had in V2 plus some new ideas. So that's why I just want to throw it out there. I'm curious. It's going to be pretty close.
I'm curious to see what it is, but it's like this. 16x will be able to make a massive, massive map, but I think, and it'd be a long play map for sure. But a 1x would be, we'd be able to do some things that we just can't do because of the resources required for on a 4x map for other stuff. We'll finally be able to do on a 1x. You know, that's the big difference there.
My thing is not that I'm leaning towards one or the other. It's in the end we want what the community likes. Here's how I think the easiest way to describe it is: you want 16x, it'll be less detail. You want 1x, it's going to be super detailed. So it comes down to the 4x is like a balance between the two. So now you got to decide which way you want to go. That's how I see it. Again, I could be wrong, but that's how I see it happening.
Yeah, you're correct. It'd be more about back to farming with the 16x than anything because the resources that will be needed to just make the map even a very flat map will not be we probably won't be able to incorporate too many building projects. We might not even be able to incorporate any of that stuff on a size map just because of the way the engine runs. So it probably, I mean, I got some interesting ideas, but we shall see. Right, so here I am at the shop, the real estate office, and I just wanted to show you real quick another tweak. Notice the menu is now in the bottom right corner and a lot cleaner and easier to read. It's over the forestry area. So the menu system I was able to move. The only part I was not able to move is down here in the middle. It says you have 12 coins we found, but that's because it gets so complicated with that. But the rest of it I was able to page over, and it looks a lot cleaner, as well as everything's separated in here, all the buildings, so they're much easier to buy. They're not overlapping. And as far as updates, everything's behind the scenes. So what I'm going to do next is get you guys a brief glimpse of, well, we're going to give you the Mod Folder Switcher Plus and show you what the new features are and how they work. And then we'll come back here and we'll finish up here, and then we'll give Big Daddy a run for a little bit and let him show you the new mods that are going to be coming in, which is pretty awesome. So, let's see, where am I? I think I can do this while I still have the game running in the background. Let's check this out. If I turn off this, and show my desktop, and where is my Mod Folder Switcher program? Oh my gosh, what did I do? Everything. Alright, we're going to shut down the game for a minute. We'll just shut it down. It'll make things go a lot easier. Because I just minimized everything. Everything. I can't see a bloomin' thing.
Just move your Mod Folder Switch over to the screen you had your game on.
Yeah, it's already on there, but it's weird. Because I got this cool little thing. The fences, I got an update. If anybody's running this fences mod, it's kind of cool. They did a version 3 that's for Windows 10, so you see how clean my desktop looks? Even though I have these little pull-down windows that I highlight up and they pop down like so. So it has everything nice and neatly organized, but it's not there. Mod Folder Switcher. First thing you guys hear, we'll bring that button up because that's where I started. I can double click to keep these open too. And I'll move that. Oh, that's good enough. This is the Mod Folder Switcher program as you know it, with 2 extra buttons. The first thing I wanted you guys to know is that with the and you can get this by typing exclamation point MFS plus in the stream. It'll throw up the link, exclamation point MFS plus. One of the things that I added in was if you shut down the program now with whatever bar you have selected on the top, that's the way it's going to boot up the next time you boot it. So that's kind of cool. It saves the setting of what bar. So if I had this bar and I shut it down and boot it up, that bar will be shown, all the little links. So for those that don't use it, it's gone. Second, you'll see, obviously we have the old buttons for those of you who first time seeing this. If I were to select like our server and then select the folder, I can view all the files that are in that folder on our server. Very simple. If I need to take a quick look at my log file, I click the log file button and I can see my log file on my computer. But the two new buttons are this one here, and this button is a backup program. It's recommended if you want to use this, if you go to Giant's website or type in !autosave, it'll bring up the autosave program that saves your game every 5 minutes. And if you run that, drop that mod into your folder, it'll save any save game every 5 minutes. And what this program does, this little box here, is it allows you to take, and I know this is going to be kind of small for you guys to read, but I can select a folder to back up, and then if I go to my documents folder, which is Documents, My Games, Farming Simulator, and say we took Save Game 6 and select OK, and then I can select a location to back it up to, and let's say I'll back it up to desktop and in my backups folder I created. Now I can select a backup interval and I can make it save a file every 30 minutes. Your options are 1, 5, 15, 30 minutes, or 1 hour. For this demonstration I'm going to use 1 minute, and we can set it to do anywhere from 1 to 50 copies in that folder. So as the game is running and I'm playing and the autosaves are going in, it will create. You just click the start backup and it says backup's running. You can minimize that while you're playing. And what that will do is create a backup, and I got it right here. Let me open that folder. And you can see how it's listing. It zips your save game folder and backs it up at the interval and as many copies as you requested it. And when it hits the end, it will overwrite the first one and keep on going. So if you do have problems with your save game getting corrupted, you are able to pull up your last so many versions you have saved. Now you do have to remember that it only saves what is in your save game folder. So if you haven't saved your game, you're going to have duplicates in here every time it's created. That's why I recommend you using it with the autosave program that's on the website over there. And it will update these automatically. When you're done playing, you just want to take that and wherever it went. And let's see, I must have shut it down already. The button is over here. There it is. And it always appears on my other monitor. So when you're done, you want to hit the stop backup and it'll stop backing up your files. That's button number 1. Secondly, if you guys remember my Save Game Viewer program, I'm slowly integrating some features, and this is the eyeball button. Pop that open, and you will see under Save Games, and Just Chillin' 72-840, thank you for the follow. You will see under the Save Games, there are any save game. If you don't have a save game in a certain slot, then it's not going to pull up in the list. But my current offline save game would be Save Game 6, so I have save games in all of these folders. And basically, you just click on the save game, and it'll give you the information, some basic information like how much money is in there and fertilizer. But that's for the PV version 2 of Pleasant Valley. And my Save Game 6, it will work PV Rivers, Pleasant Valley, and this will work with any save game from any map as well. So Eventually, I will add in some custom features for the PV Rivers and version 2 maps into this, but it's all integrated into the mod folder switcher program now, as well as the weather forecast. So you guys have seen this. You can see what's coming up on your save game. So I just wanted to throw that at you. And
Question for you.
yeah,
If you put in this MFS Plus, does it overwrite the old one and still use the same information?
if you download
or do you got to
it,
reset everything?
when you download it, install it to the same folder that you have your original one. Just copy those files into your current MFS Plus, the ones that are in the zip file, and it will automatically update the one that you have, and you won't have to reset anything. Just put the files, overwrite the ones that are in your current folder. When you unzip it to your MFS Plus folder, and you'll be good.
Okay.
Will the autosave stuff work on servers? S7 Davis, good question. You do not need to have autosave on a server because if the server is running all the time, it does your backups automatically every whatever you set the interval for. So the biggest thing is, can you get to run this program? Will they allow you to put this program on the server to run? If you have a personal server, then you can put it on like we do. We have it on Andre's machine. If you don't, then you'll have to you won't be able to use it on your server. I just got the current version. It's a $4.99 upgrade to the current version of Fences, which adds a few new features like the collapsible windows and lets me keep a nice clean desktop. So it's pretty cool. Fences, I think you can type !Fences if anybody wants to see this software where you get it. And they have a new version. It's more Windows 10 compatible. I had some issues with the other one sometimes locking up because it wasn't Windows 10. It has some really cool features like I can create a folder just by dragging, and then I can create a folder portal. So if I wanted to have a folder portal of the My Documents folder, I can put that folder, and anytime I put something in my Documents folder, it will show up on my desktop in this little window. And you can do that with any, or you can just create a fence to drag and drop stuff in there. It's a pretty cool program. I like it. Keeps my millions and millions of icons clean, the desktop. So anyway, that's Mod Folder Switcher. You guys can grab that. I am going to pass my broadcast, I thank you guys, over to Big Daddy once he's ready and set up. And then he will take on the rest of the show with some mod stuff. So let me log back into the game here just to switch over there. And how are you doing, Big Daddy? Is he there? Did he leave me? Well, he'll be back soon. We'll log back into the server. Now this part I don't want you to see because, well, you can't do it today, but next week you'd be able, or not next week. Oh, you'll be able to log into my server once you all have the map. So we can't have you see the password. But we can show you the startup screen. Now has some pictures. I got to redo the text on this screen. I will host Big Daddy with his mods coming up. I haven't even seen what he's got going on, so I definitely will host him. Yeah, or you can jump over to his stream once it's going. We'll host him again. But he disappeared. He has left the building, probably getting his stuff.
I'm still here.
away.
Sorry.
Oh, you're there. What are you fishing?
Yeah, I had to go to the men's room. Sorry.
I'm getting ready to pass the broadcast over to you for your mods. And I will see everybody here back next Friday. I thank everybody for watching my show. I know it's kind of quick tonight, but I haven't been feeling very well. And we will have a lot of shows coming up in the near future, so stay tuned for that. And we're going to pass you over to Big Daddy. Remember, June 18th, we're over $1,200 in giveaways between the multi-streams that we'll be running. $1,200 in prizes will be coming up on June 18th. June 16th we have the mods released, including the ones Big Daddy is working on right now. And June 14th will be the Tutorial Tuesday, as well as the other shows leading up to it. So you'll see me doing some playtesting and stuff as well leading up once we get past this big holiday weekend. So once you're booted up there, let me know, Big Daddy. I'll throw you a host. And I thank everybody for tuning in and watching my short show tonight. Usually I run another 2 hours, but we'll leave mine running and host Big Daddy.
Sounds good, man. Getting it fired up right now.
And I will get on that. Bring up my Twitch. And you're going to want to see this because he's going to have some cool mods coming in. And did I just hear a donation of $25 by Boots? Again, another 25. Thank you so much, BJM03. You are awesome, incredible. Love it. Big help. Gas money and vacation.
Don't worry,
Thank you
loves.
so much again.
Cavalry's here.
And I know it doesn't update your total automatically down in the
Overwatch.
bottom corner.
Play it now on
because
PC and
I can buy them
console.
all, but I
Rated
will
T
take
for
care of that
teen.
as usual. And you're going to want to see this because he's going to help. Bugweiser, thank you for the follow. Let me turn this off. I'm getting everything looped real quick. And I'm going to start hosting Big Daddy.
Alright, guys. Hope everybody enjoyed the stream. Let me do a quick refresh, make sure everybody's here that